You can do it there. If it is factory work, there are so many factories. There are even factories here we go show that you can go into. So, but you are thinking of buying those machines and putting them in here. Even if you buy that machine, I'm not too sure any university will have the funds to be able to maintain them beyond 5 years. So now there are people who have this, they are using it for business. So students just go in there. You may be surprised when they finish one, let's say, practical or whatever. The industry will say, why can't you stay with us? We'll be paying you some stipend while you are working and doing that. The student will start earning money and doing it. But we're always talking about the university buying, building this one. We can keep talking. I'm not too sure government is having more money than they used to have in the past. And even that is it. The people who are there to tell you that they spend so money to campaign. Maybe they raise campaign funds now and you can spend all those money. So if I spend 15 billion and 18 billion, you expect me to sit down there and come up with 200,000 naira. Would I make my 15,000 first before I start looking at who voted for me? So where would the money be? It's not as if they don't like education, but the cost of funding education is so high, and it gets the fee is rejected. So it's left for us here now, the university system. What do we do now? Because as a teacher, you should also know how to improvise. Because you will not always have teaching apparatus at your disposal to be able to use. What do? You improvise. So the simple thing is that you tell the student, okay, this particular thing, there is this factory that is related. So you just write to the factory that this is seek their permission, and then we do this. So the laboratories you are talking about are available. The workshops are available. Practical workshops are available. It's not as if there's a dummy machine here. I think it's actually mechanization you are talking about. There are places you can send them to and all of that, and it will help. It's just because we're not thinking out of the box. We want them to buy. Okay, if Oyo State government have a lot of money, would they take their whole budget and send to LODLC? They won't. There are so many tertiary institutions under the state government, and you are aware. So why would they be able to share the resources? The thing is that the things that are available in the factory, you attach your student there, and then they will have access to these facilities straight away. So, and if you want to know, you do advertisement for the company. You show that you take pictures there, you sell or whatever, then you sell them the cost of advertisement. Because you are doing it, they will feel so and whatever. And also buy some of their products if they are relevant and all of that. And then in exchange, you have your student learning there. And so by the time the student graduates, you will see what I had one intern. So what I simply did was that, okay, fine. What you should do is that you say it's software engineer, what you should do is that just set up a website from scratch. She was cried, she went and told her mother, called me, I said yes, you must do it. It's 3 months, you must deliver within this 3 months. By the time our supervisor came, she wore 3-piece suit. I was and you know what? She made the best. In all her colleagues that went elsewhere, she was the best. And she feels so proud that she was able to do something that, once in a while she got into and see her work. So these are the kind of things we are looking for. If she graduates now and she has gone for an interview, they said, okay, how do you develop the website? We should be wondering what to do. So these are the things. So it's not the issue of you mustn't have all the workshop here. And I don't think any university in the world have everything on campus. No. After all, the students are not going to work on campus. They are going to work elsewhere. So attach them there and then see what result you get. If you like, try it and you will see. Yes, sir. Sit down, sir.
You cannot sit down.
I think there is a gap between the industry and the university. It's not possible. It's not possible for our regulators to make a policy that will enforce all the university to, like a policy that enforces all the university to sign like MOU or a collaboration.
But they have done it now. Are they not the ones who insist on IT service?
But it's not effective. There is no any.
No, it depends. There are universities in Nigeria that are doing what I'm telling you. It's just your initiative. The regulator cannot give you rules for almost everything. Otherwise, they will even specify the type of clothes you wear to come to work and teach. So it's not everything. There are general whatever, and it's always, if it is our regulator is saying you say they said it's minimum, which you can improve upon, and that is what makes another university to be ranked higher than another one. Those who brings in more innovation and they are able to. So it's an issue of it's benchmark. So you are the ones who will now look for ways of going up. So all those things you are saying, there's nothing there that the regulator didn't say you should do.
Sir, in addition to what he said, Nigeria with its peculiarity. We just observe that some industries just refuse to accept students.
That one too I know. I say that this issue is you reach out. You reach out. And if you are a lecturer in electrical engineering, the general manager there in that company is your colleague in the discipline. If you go in and meet the person, have a rapport with the person, discuss with the person, gradually things will be sorted out. One thing I know about Nigeria you are talking about is that once you are able to know somebody to go to, things that are ordinarily impossible become possible. So it's just your ability to be able to reach out. That's cool. That's cool. Yes, I didn't know I've been on this road, Katina to Lagos through Ogbomoso sometime. I find it for years to come and go. Now I will try. So, but I didn't know how to connect during the Ogbomoso. So I reached out to my colleague. I would not know how we were going to go. How I said, no, that's what I was searching out. If I didn't reach out, go. And then maybe I take and I'm sleeping and they carry me. Then I will call him that I found myself. You see now? So reaching out solves a lot of problems. So just reach out. Try reaching out and see. Yes, sir. Try reaching out and see. Okay, yes. Just a minute. I'll come. Good morning. Can you see this? Or you want to stand?
I just want to corroborate what you are saying. Like in the clinical sciences in our medical colleges, what we do is that when our students are having their postings and we understand that in our own setting there are some deficiencies, so we make them go to other teaching hospitals that have facilities that we don't have, and they acquire that skill and they come back. Then sometimes we take them to industry, like in my own department we do occupational health. So we take them to industries where they acquire some skills for like 4 months, 3 months, and they come back. And there's a logbook and there's an assessment.
Exactly.
So I think it's possible, sir.
Yeah, so we go to models or whatever, that logbook or whatever, you will see it there. So this is not yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I also want to add my voice to what you have said. Raise a question. Taking our ODL here as a case study, I know for our Greek students, for our nursing students, they go on clinical posting, and we go around to supervise and see what they do. And of course, for those in Greek, they go to farm and they have farm experience, which is to show that this authentic assessment is actually applicable and is doable. However, I want to raise the issue of the curriculum development in itself. Even with all of this, if those in charge of putting the curriculum together do not have this at the back of their mind, they will continue to fetch water into the basket. We will need to do more in the area of curriculum development, because they will develop the curriculum from NUC and give it to us, and we'll follow it to the letter. And then, of course, the benchmark, the minimum requirements, we have to follow it. So, as much as I want to say for us in LAUTECH, and especially for ODL, we follow the authentic assessment by doing all of these things. Yet, in the area of curriculum, much still needs to be done.
AUC to realize that I think they picked people from universities to develop the curriculum. There is there is CC mass now instead of B mass that is going to come up now, which tries to work more on the content. And the word was. So when it comes out, hopefully we solve that problem. I haven't gone through all of it, so I don't know what is contained, all of them. But AUC realized that too. And then committee of directors for academic planning too have been raising that good enough. The chair is your own game. The chair is your own KP. I'm not that because she's also looking at it. So that is it. And this is the first time we're having a DAP that almost everybody in the Nigerian university system agreement. But it's the woman we will see now when I was saying it. You see now, I think the problem is that sometimes we like talking about problems rather than trying to solve the problem. I think if there's a problem, let's deal with it and solve it. And get over it. But we just keep lamenting. That's why I don't like some of my colleagues that will spend 45 minutes criticizing university administration, saying what government has not done, why there are no facilities, all of this, and they spend 5 minutes to introduce a topic. And that's why they ask very simple questions. Because they didn't teach the student anything. Okay, what can you improvise? Because we can never have everything. And as a teacher, you must be able to get by certain things to make sure that your students who are supposed to be your children are able to learn. So why do you like criticizing people? I'm not saying the university will have to criticize, accept it. But these things we tell the students, they are not meant for them. They are not meant for them. Okay, I came and face to face so that I can receive them. You are telling me why I shouldn't expect much. But you are collecting my fees. How does that sound? Then they say, okay, actually the facilities are not there. There's no need learning. And let's wait. There are areas of concentration. All of that. So, but if you go through this way, I'm telling you, the students will be asking for areas of concentration. Because it's a tax to be performed. So the issue of areas of concentration will be there. There are some that whatever you do will still be who they are, but majority will be able to benefit from it. So, and as I said, regulators say you shouldn't go below this standard. They have never said you can't go higher. And there is also one mistake that many academics are making. When they say an AUC panel during accreditation, they say it's AUC. Because some of them will be talking about what is obtained from their universities. And then you now say, where AUC came? I hear that a lot. Meanwhile, it is just an opinion of one of the journalists who just said, okay, what is the name? They will not take it that it has become the voice of the people. So there's a difference between somebody who is set on a mission. I'm not cold. I'm only consulting for cold. So I'm not cold. I'm a Nigerian here working in the Nigerian university system. I'm not cold. So I shouldn't go and if I say things here, then you go and say cold. So there's a difference. My
No, there's still one question.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Mine is not really a question, but it's still a question. Now, what I meant by that is, for example, with the clinicals, you said they have where they post their nurses, they have a kind of 1 week and things like that. While it is doable for them, given that those people were already nurses, and where you are posting them is just an extension of where they've been working. We've noticed that in
okay, easy. Okay. Go ahead, let's listen to you.
Now, in IT, we have COS, we have SWE. But what we have noticed is that most of those students, they only conduct reports. They don't go. Some of them just come and submit whatever they want. How do we solve this?
Okay, don't you ask them to present?
Yes, we asked them to.
If they have not done it, why would they present it? Okay, I send my student for a practical. Just a minute, just a minute.
That's okay.
I send a student out to go and learn. I want feedback. Won't I be able to know whether they did it? If they didn't do it, you send them back.
Exactly.
They repeat it. Once 2 students repeat, that will end. And before you send them anywhere, you also find out try to talk to those people. These are the kind of keys we are inspecting. I've told you about my CWS student that just left and how I was able to. I'm telling you that she was crying. She reported me to her mother because both her mother and her father are professors. So the father told her, "Oh, go and do what they tell you." The mother, because mothers like hearing too much, was going. I said, "Just remove your hand completely until after 3 months when she goes." But for now, pretend that you don't even know her and you don't know me. At the end of it, so now every day, every morning, I see a text message. Thank you very much. You see, if you are a teacher and you want students to be hearing you, they will hate you when they graduate. But when they say you are difficult, they will bring gifts for you when they graduate. Because when they don't see the reality of it. And all we are trying to sensitize our colleagues here is simply this, that let students learn how to apply whatever knowledge you are imparting in them while they are still students, so that when they graduate, they won't be hanging. Yes, there is unemployment, but you also know that some of those graduates are not employed. That's the truth.
Majority.
Oh, so, and it all has to do with this whole issue of not being able to link theory and practice together. So that is it. Yes, another question.
No, it's still an extension of what you just said. Let's say, for example, we have 50 students that are supposed to go on IT. And during our interaction with them, we noticed that 45 of them actually did not do it. They only concocted report and what. Should we send all the 45 of them back and repeat?
You have 200. Yes, that ITCS is a course, is it not? Some is even weighing as high as 6 credit units. Some 4. Okay, so if a student never attended class, never did any assignment, never wrote exams, the student will still pass the course, right? No. So what are you saying? IT service is a course. They didn't do it. If they are 45, they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Now, get the head of the department, they didn't do it. And they will go and do it. And once you do that to one set, I'm telling you, the thing will disappear. Yes. Because others will graduate and leave them behind. They won't try that again. It's as simple as that.
My last point is the issue of flexibility.
Yeah.
We said in ODL we are learner centered. That means we have to consider their schedule, their timing, and things like that. So let's say, for example, just like Clinical's post, let's assume IT, we also want to start to post. We want to locate a company where they can go and things like that. Do we consider their own time, or we just fix them as we deem fit? Bringing me back to IT and COS again, if we give them a kind of letter which we expect them to submit somewhere, what if they submit to somewhere which is not qualified enough? Are we the one posting them? Are they the one posting themselves?
Okay, there are guidelines for doing that. So I will leave this question to the section that my colleague is going to handle. It will answer that question. Well, this one is just pros and cons. With the traditional assessment system, assessment practices, most of them are contrived. This other one here will be work. We have said that report is lower order in this case. That's what we have is order for implementation. Then the AA, because the scope of application is on the higher order treatment is approved. This is the traditional system, as I explained from the culture of the university, teacher center, AA is more learner center. Then, yes, my colleague was talking about curriculum. In authentic assessment, it's expected that the assessment to determine the curriculum you have to. Okay. Yes. Next one. I pursued my time. Yes.
Can we go back to the previous slide?
Yes.
And try to explain how we
Let me see
become
that
the picture.
Engineer.
Okay. So just get me to yes, is it this one?
No.
Just pass.
This one. Yes. That is curriculum determines assessment. Yeah. Assessment determines curriculum. Can you expatiate on this?
No, you know that this is about tax. It's about application of the knowledge. So when you are developing the curriculum, you show which aspect should be taken in class and which one should be taken the other side. So that is it. And that's why he was raising an issue now that we have to throw the curriculum in such a way that we be able to. Yes, can we go? We can skip. We'll just skip it. Okay, now, just leave it like that. We'll just transfer it. We said the culture of the university assessment process. Now, how? We have to interact with it. Now, all of you said, yes, the culture is important, the great assessment process is so, how? Yes, we are giving our own views, but let's hear your views. See, we looked at 4 cultures of universities. You said LODLC has a grade of 2. The collegial has a detrimental. And you all agreed on that. Okay, settled. So now, how does that bring to bear on assessment practices? Which means we have to remember the futures of those cultures to be able to. That's why I say, let me ask. We have done our own, as you are looking at it, but then it's more important for us to hear from you. If the culture of the university have an effect on the assessment practices of the university, how does that happen in outtake? I'm not a student of outtake, I'm not a staff of outtake. I only have my organ in outtake. So, you know who the organ is? No, you don't know. You are DAP.
Okay. Yeah, you see, I think what we have there called traditional assessment.
The traditional assessment pattern in collegial system, you try to transport whatever is happening face to face to even ODL in terms of assessment, and that is a pattern, not more of authentic assessment. So it affects what is happening. And earlier, my colleagues agreed that it's a mixture of collegial and developmental. So it's going to have a lot of impact on things you can do, things that are not acceptable, things that, in terms of tradition, a colleague will not want to accept it. Even I see some colleagues say, oh, we don't even know what they are doing at ODL, what are they doing? So all those things are still part of it. They will affect whatever assessment we are picking. And I think that's why this sensitization is very, very important.
Thank you. Clap for him. Now I'm also quoting what everyone knows that is authority. Dr. Ramon Yusuf, I think it's just needed past Deputy Executive Secretary of the AUC. He said that Nigerian society academic it's a little bit, they look as common and anything old here. He said because it is old here, it's not. And a good number of our colleagues would think that because examination is not done pen on paper, they can never, ever have credibility. So That is the mindset. It's a culture on its own. So if you are now saying, okay, what can't we move from this whole issue of theory to application? Because if you are going to give students a task, you are giving yourself also an additional task. And so there will be resentment due to the fact that the teacher will not have to do more work and be more diligent. So they will not want to do that. My colleague was saying, students didn't do IT service, you didn't go back. And I said, it's double work, why can't we just? Okay, if they don't go back, what do? You just give them an imagined math for them to graduate to what? What do you do? So it's a course. So it must be taken and it must be fast for the student to move on. Yes, any other person? Your tea is getting cold. And I'm also looking at my watch. It's like one of the move on, but we'll pass that. Okay, so we can end like this. So thank you very much. Okay, I answer the question. My question is, are you sick?
Thank you. It's just part of the collegiate.
It's part of your culture.
All right, my question is this: we have been able to identify the second or the third to the last slide. The first point there spoke about the collegiate culture. And okay, thank you, sir. All right. Now, let's talk. No, as in, no.
It's the bullet point. Bullet point number.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. All right. The first point you said is Dua Mode University, Laute.